experience. It's the teacher of all things. Its lessons propel you forward to overcome obstacles and learn how far you can go. It's what makes you, you. And it's at the heart of every Macquarie University degree. It means you can combine virtual and on-campus learning and personalise your degree. With courses co-created by industry leaders and degrees with inbuilt internships, you learn directly from those with experience. When you're powered by our collective, you get the experience you need to get ahead. You become more than just you. You become you to the power of us. Macquarie University.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this afternoon's graduation ceremony. A very important occasion, particularly for graduates on my right, but family and friends who've come to support them and be part of this auspicious occasion. It is. A few housekeeping matters first. Can make sure all mobile phones have been turned to silent. I appreciate that. You're welcome to take photographs, but we ask that you don't stand and impede the view of people behind. Today's ceremony will be screened live on Macquarie University's YouTube channel. Now, if we need to evacuate for any reason, please follow the instructions of the security staff. They're here, and they will be when and if we need it. And I always keep my fingers crossed when I say that, because we haven't needed them for the last 14 years at least, while I've been doing this. So, fingers crossed. Graduates, if you've ordered plaques or frames, please collect those from the desk out the back, around that way, okay, where refreshments will be. So you'll process out later and refreshments will be behind us. Also around there are facilities for portrait photographs. So avail yourself of that opportunity as well. Yeah, that's probably it. I know I've forgotten something, but don't we all? So I'll move across. I need to speak to graduates now. Thank you. Graduates, congratulations. It's a wonderful occasion. The university is just thrilled that we're able to do and organise these graduation ceremonies for you, because they know how hard you have worked. We'll be getting underway shortly. The academic procession will come up the centre aisle, take their positions on stage. You'll be asked to stand for this, and the national anthem will be played. We ask to remove your trenches or your bonnets and join in the singing. At the conclusion of that, we sit down, put these back on, and make sure the tassel's on your left. Okay? Don't worry if it ends up somewhere else. There'll be some young women around the back to help sort that out. Okay? So you've sat down. There'll be a welcome to country from Uncle Chris Tobin. Then the presiding officer, the Pro-Chancellor, Professor Mansfield, will address you. Following that will be an occasional address from a guest speaker, so to say. And at the conclusion of that is the important part for you folk. It's when you change from graduands to graduates. Now, I know some of you have graduated, if not here, somewhere else, but for today's purposes, you're graduands. As I say, you'll be asked to stand. The presiding officer will seek assurance from the acting registrar that you've satisfied all the requirements for the award of your degree. Now, you've got your degree, so you're pretty intelligent. So you'd know that you have satisfied the requirements. for the award. As I say, you'll be asked to stand, your degrees will be conferred upon you by the presiding officer, then you'll be asked to sit. An usher will collect the back row, and they are our PhD candidates. You go around the back, I'll be around there, and there'll be lots of helpers around there, and I'll give you one of these. Okay? Your name will appear in that window, and inside are your academic transcripts. Okay? And we ask that you hold it in your left hand, like that. And I'll explain why a little bit later. Now you have a seat ticket. The number on the ticket should correspond to the seat that you are in. Now, as I say, that's important for us around the back. We want you to be in the proper sequence. We don't want to give you somebody else's testamers and transcripts. So you go around the back, bring your ticket with you. We'll put it in there. That's if you don't have it rolled up and folded 20 times and it's in your pocket. Leave it in your pocket. Okay? Now, mobile phones, bring those with you because you don't come back to the same seat, or you won't necessarily come back to the same seat. So we don't want you to leave anything behind. Bring it with you, and what we'll do, I don't have mine, but we'll put it there, we'll put that in front, just like that. Now, if you have a pocket, by all means put it in your pocket, but the emphasis is don't leave it on your seat. Okay? Here we go around, as I say, we'll check you off on our roll. It's like being at school, isn't it? Check you off. You'll come up a ramp on that side, and there'll be an officer in that corner. They will check your name again and ask you to walk across to the presenting officer at that lectern. Now, there's a cross on the floor, which is sort of an arbitrary position for you to stand at when the presenting officer reads your name. Now, for the Masters of Research and the PhDs, presenting officer will read your name, but also read the title of your thesis. Okay? So don't leave that area until that has been completed. Okay? And when the presenting officer's done that, for want of a better word, they'll salute you by doing that. And we ask you to reciprocate. Do that as well. Okay? It's just a nice gesture, so to say. Now, as you walk across here, from there to here, for the official photograph. Here's photographer here, will take your photograph. We ask that you hold it like that, because it then becomes part of your photograph. Now, important point about this photograph, it is the official graduation photograph. Okay? So you have to look your best. Okay? Smile. Keep your eyes open. And at least look as though you're enjoying it. Okay? Now, one other point too. As I mentioned over there, you do that. If you get over here and you realise I forgot, don't go back and have another go. Okay? Just keep coming across here and meet the Pro-Chancellor. Shake his hand and do that. Now, if you prefer not to shake hands, do that. Okay? And just a slight nod. Photograph will be taken. Process off the stage this way, not down there, but around there where that gap is. And we had to put this barrier up last year because a couple tried to jump off the end. They didn't realise they had to walk around. Okay, so out that door there, well, it's a passageway, it's not a door. Down the outside aisle. Oh, one thing I should have mentioned, just reminded me. PhD graduates, you have a seat on the stage. Okay? So you come down here, walk up here, walk all the way along until you find your seat with your name on it. Okay? So that's for our PhD candidates. The rest of you, no, it's not potluck. You go back to an empty row and fill that row. Just keep walking along until you fill the next empty seat, because you won't necessarily be in the same seat that you are in now. Okay? You've all come back, you all sat down, and one of you fine folk will give the graduate speaker's address. You'll come up here and speak from this lectern. At the conclusion of that, there'll be a musical interlude. It's fantastic. It really is. I like it, but it's good. And following the musical interlude, the presiding officer will close the ceremony. Academics procession will process down the centre aisle. Graduates, you follow 2 rows at a time, out the centre door, right around the outside for the refreshments. Okay? And then pick up your plaques, frames, and whatever you've pre-ordered, or you can do it there. You don't have to have pre-ordered them. You can take your photograph and get it framed as well at that point. One other thing with mobile phones. We ask that there be no selfies on stage. Okay? It's an important occasion. We want to sort of maintain a reasonable tone about the whole situation. So that's mobile phones. So as I say, outside, take as many photographs as you like, outside, but not on stage. That's about it for me. So enjoy, okay? Don't forget, photograph, smile, keep your eyes open, and look happy. You are happy, I can see it. A couple of glum faces. No, I don't know why, but anyway. I'm sure you'll perk up when the time comes. Okay, look, enjoy and have a good time. Thanks.
Congratulations on your graduation, the start of a bright future, a future that Macquarie University wants to share with you. As a graduate, you are now part of our alumni community, a vast connected network that spans the globe, with thought leadership and networking events, locally and around the world, where you can connect with other alumni, find a future employer or employee. Also, as part of the alumni community, you have access to a wide range of benefits, including special discounts, free access to the library for life, an alumni e-magazine, special events, networks, and career and professional development opportunities. We celebrate and champion our graduates' stories and achievements, so stay connected and stay informed. Graduation is an amazing milestone and one step on a lifelong partnership with Macquarie. That's you to the power of us. Stay connected by letting us know where your journey takes you. Simply update your details at mq.edu.au/alumni.
I'm back. Shortly, the official party will enter the graduation hall. When they've taken their positions on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be played, and we invite you to join in the singing of the national anthem. Would you please stand for the academic procession?
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and a well-fought toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, I would like to invite Uncle Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional acknowledgement of country.
Thank you. Warami Miriga. Hello friends and Nalawa. Welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I wish to firstly pay my respect to the people of the country, including our elders, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and for the invitation to welcome you here this afternoon. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bullangai, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. and with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now, that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws. It meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 230 years ago, he described the people he encountered as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing, he wrote, but the tools they carried. They made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and fed their families from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, and no homelessness. Armies were unheard of, as were forts, jails, or even fences. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, which were then shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state through fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 30,000 years. So please consider, this is not a dream or an ideal to be strived for. This was normal life for us and for the longest time. And not too long ago either. So there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. However, we are a clever people. We look after each other, and we'll keep going that way, I think. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, we are naturally happy, and normally very good at looking after each other and the planet. I would just suggest that you share your skills with the rest of us and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident that we can put together a world we can be proud of and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine by winding up and letting you graduate. All right, have a lovely day, everyone, and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, I'm pleased to introduce Pro-Chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Nick Mansfield. Pro-Chancellor.
Thank you, Chris, for the acknowledgement of country. We're here today to celebrate the value and meaning of education, and it adds a huge amount to the significance of the event for us to be able to connect it to the strong traditions of knowledge, wisdom, and education that have been enacted on these lands for many thousands of years. It's a very valuable thing for the university and a great honour for the university, and we thank you very much for your words. Colleagues, guests, families and friends of all our graduands, and most importantly, our graduands. It's my distinct honour and pleasure to welcome you here today to this graduation ceremony. I bring our graduands and their guests a special greeting from the members of the Macquarie University Council, the university's governing body. It's our hope that today is a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. Now, I see that we have a number of small children here today and maybe even a baby or two, and I want you to know that they are especially welcome. I also want you to know that we do not expect small children to stay still or remain quiet through the length of a graduation ceremony. This is very much an event for families and friends, and young children are especially welcome. Today is a milestone day. Today we celebrate the wonderful achievements of those of you about to graduate. Completing a university degree is not an easy thing. It requires an intelligent and inquiring mind, determination and perseverance, and you've made many sacrifices along the way in pursuit of your end goal. And now you've made it, and I look forward to personally congratulating each and every one of you. I also want to especially welcome the families, supporters and friends of our graduands here with us as invited guests. The fact that you've been invited by one of our graduates to share in one of the happiest and most memorable days of their lives shows that you've been an important positive influence. So to our invited guests, congratulations to you as well, and thank you for celebrating this occasion with us. Universities are different from schools, colleges, and other educational institutions in that they link teaching, the sharing of knowledge and ideas, with research, the discovery and formulation of new knowledge and new ways of thinking. There are very few innovations in our world, whether it be in how we're treated when we're sick, how we interact with our environment, the technologies that increasingly define our work, communication, and entertainment, how we think about our past, how we are educated, the laws we live by, the policies governments pursue, or the debates that define how we will live, think, and make values in the future, that are not touched or even initiated by university research. A university education teaches you not only skills and knowledge, but gives you an awareness of how truth and new ideas develop and how they are tested and validated. Innovation is at the heart of every university, and therefore also challenge, difficulty, and the excitement that go with them. Macquarie University is at the forefront of innovation and challenge. It was at Macquarie University, for example, in work done in conjunction with the CSIRO, that the world's first working WLAN microchip on which current Wi-Fi technology is based was developed, a technology that almost all of us carry around with us all the time and rely on every moment of the day. It is this spirit of innovation we celebrate, especially in the graduation of our PhD candidates, our doctors of philosophy, who are being awarded the world's highest academic qualification for projects that by definition must be original, groundbreaking, and forward-thinking, no matter what the field. Everyone who is graduating today has had to confront these challenges of innovation, of new ways of thinking and change, a process that I'm sure has had its surprises and difficulties and confounding moments, as well as moments of anxiety, uncertainty, and stress. But graduates, you have confronted these challenges and won through. You have faced uncertainty and difficulty. You have been assessed against high standards, world-class standards, and you have met with success. You should be very proud of what you have accomplished. It is no small achievement. The university is certainly very proud of you and what you have achieved. But we at Macquarie are also very much aware that education is not just an academic matter. It is fundamentally social. It is about people and human relationships. The university strives to be a hospitable, open, and supportive place. The friendliness, inclusiveness, and approachability of Macquarie staff and students, for example, is often commented on by visitors to the university, both from Australia and around the world. This is inherent to Macquarie's culture, and we intend that it will always remain so. Remember, you will always be welcome here. Macquarie University will always be a leader in teaching and learning, and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. However, our collective journey is about building community, where we have shared values and where we care about each other, even when our points of view on some issues might diverge. It is that combination of intellectual endeavour and human care that defines what a university is all about. Guests, academic and professional colleagues, and most importantly, our graduands, I offer you the warmest of welcomes to Macquarie University on this grand occasion. In just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour and pleasure to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of the community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. But now it's my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Simon Carlisle. Simon worked in academia as a professor of neuroscience and Pro-Vice-Chancellor, and in business as an executive and entrepreneur. In both areas, he's focused on developing and translating new technologies for innovative solutions to real-world problems. Simon has a PhD in neuroscience from the University of Sydney, then went to Oxford in the UK, where he was a research fellow and lecturer in neuroscience. He established the Auditory Neuroscience Laboratory at the University of Sydney and was Professor of Neuroscience there. He's currently an honorary professor at Macquarie University. Simon's published more than 130 research papers, a foundation text on auditory virtual reality, and is an associate editor for Nature's Scientific Reports. Commercially, Simon has led 2 spin-off companies, one of which developed processing algorithms for hearing aids. Later, as Vice President for Research at Starkey, Simon led a user-centred research and technology strategy to reposition the hearing aid as a health platform using biosensing. In 2018, Simon joined Google X and was the technical lead for a major moonshot project, which is now a startup in Silicon Valley. He returned to Australia late 2022 and now works for Google Research Australia in Sydney. I now invite Dr. Simon Carlisle to deliver the occasional address.
Thank you very much for that very generous introduction. Hello, everybody. Wow, what a big day. Been dreaming about this for a while, I'll bet. I'm really quite honoured to be asked to speak to you guys. I gave it some thought, and I went back to history. It was the pre-Socratic philosopher Heraclitus was quoted as saying that no one steps in the same river twice. And Heraclitus lived at around 6th century BC. And this observation, it's not just still highly relevant today, but one might say is the most dominant and impactful factor in our lives. Not only do all things change, except change itself, but the rate and impact of that change in our modern lives is raised to a level that would have been inconceivable to Heraclitus. You've all worked really hard over these past years to become more than just good students to your discipline, but to understand how to carry your best self to positively impact the world and the people around you. It's this latter point that will need to be your guiding compass in the years to come. Like you, I studied to complete my degrees, but probably not as hard as most of you. I was something of a diffident student. And in my final undergraduate year, I took a research honours in neuroscience, mainly because I was really enjoying university life, and I wasn't in too much of a hurry to leave. My research was looking at how the toad, Bufo marinus, could localise the source of a sound. It's funny the decisions we make early in our careers. It's a very important endeavour if you happen to be a female toad looking for a mate. And I recall, after collecting a lot of data, I remember late one Thursday night seeing the plot of my very careful measurements fall on or near a straight line across my graph paper. This was, of course, before we had computers that do the plots for us. That was a sacred moment to me. I was looking at something that no other human had ever seen. There was a coherent relationship in my data that suggested a connection between the dependent and independent variables. Nature had answered the question that I had asked in my experiment and confirmed my hypothesis. Now, it wasn't earth-shattering findings, I admit. It was ultimately published in the Proceedings of the Royal Society, so it wasn't a complete waste of time. But it represented a massive turning point in my life. My curiosity exploded. For the first time, I became a really engaged student. I felt that fire in my belly. I'd found what really excited me, and I've been following that curiosity ever since. So my message to you, or one of them, is to follow your heart and love what you do. For where you are now, there are many roads to travel, from the technical to the clinical, in business, in the service of others. Many opportunities will present themselves if you are able to see them. So, be curious, questioning and challenging. Don't be complacent. Don't be fat and happy. And be prepared to be foolish occasionally. So this is the first lesson of change that I've learned. Change is actually much better than a holiday. Change brings new perspectives, new ideas, new curiosities, new experiences and excitement. Overcoming new challenges is a massive self-acknowledgement. Admittedly, you won't get it right every time, but it sure feels good when you do. So don't deny yourself that satisfaction. The second lesson of change is quite different. Now, despite my relative laziness, I did learn quite a lot in high school and university and even my postdoc years in Oxford. But an awful lot of what I've learned is now either blatantly wrong or not quite correct, or more likely not even relevant. Much of the content that you've worked so hard to understand and retain will also fade over time, like what I had learned. And there are two lessons here. First is to know when to let go. Don't hold what you understand as dogma. Don't accept other people's dogma. That's just plain lazy. Know that the curious amongst us will continue to discover new things in nature, will shift perspectives, and change what is relevant and what is useful. And this is how, as a species, we've ratcheted our way to the modern age over such a short time. Many of you probably already know. It's only about 200,000 years ago we started to use language. And only about 10,000 years ago, we started to record and write our knowledge down. In evolutionary terms, this is an incredibly tiny fraction of time. But our ability to communicate and record our ideas and discoveries has propelled our species forward at an amazing pace. And given how many of us there are now, and the increasing sophistication of our tools, the rate of change has become positively meteoric, and at times can be completely overwhelming. But you all now have a secret skill that will help you manage this tsunami of change. You've learned how to learn. Don't ever stop learning. Not only is it one of the most fun things you can do, like riding down the face of a wave, but it prepares you for the next moment, the next day, the next month or year, so you can continue to bring the best of you to what you love. The best knowledge, the best tools, and to have the best impact. So, from someone who's had a fairly unconventional career, but a career that I've never stopped being amazed at how fortunate I've been, those are my two main takeaways. First, find what puts the fire in your belly and makes you love what you do. And second, never, ever, ever stop learning. Good luck, and thank you.
Thank you very much for those words, Simon. They're inspiring. Thank you. As Pro-Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at occasions like this one and conferring degrees on those who've complied with the university's requirements for awards. I now call on Acting Registrar Professor Mariella Herberstein to formally certify the eligibility of those who've met the requirements for awards.
Pro-Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being present here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority as Pro-Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Pro-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Medicine, Health and Human Sciences. I now call on Professor Patrick McNeill, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Medicine and Health, and Executive Dean for the Faculty of Medicine, Health and Human Sciences, to present the graduates. Professor McNeill.
Pro-Chancellor, the graduates of this ceremony are from the Faculty of Medicine, Health and Human Sciences, which contains two schools, the Macquarie Medical School and the School of Psychological Sciences, and three departments, Health Sciences, Chiropractic and Linguistics, as well as a research institute, the Australian Institute of Health Innovation. The faculty is a core component of the Macquarie University Health Sciences Centre, which is a unique academic health enterprise in Australia, as Macquarie is the only university that integrates its learning and research with the practice of health here on our campus at our own health service called MQ Health. MQ Health provides the opportunity for students enrolled within the faculty to learn or to undertake research in an environment where real clinical practice is occurring. The faculty is very proud of the way it integrates its learning, its health and medical research with patient care, captured by the purpose of MQ Health in 3 words: heal, learn, discover. Students in the faculty are studying one of 9 undergraduate degrees or a larger number of postgraduate coursework or research degrees. These include our graduate entry Doctor of Medicine, the Doctor of Physiotherapy, the Master of Public Health, the Master of Research, and our premium research degree, the Doctor of Philosophy. The majority of graduates to be presented today are graduating from the faculty's Bachelor of Clinical Science and the Bachelor of Speech and Hearing Sciences. But I'll also be presenting graduates who have completed their research degrees at master's and doctorate levels, including the Master of Public Health Research. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Medicine, Health and Human Sciences whom you've admitted to the degrees or awarded diplomas. I'll first present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. A higher degree by research is awarded to a graduate who successfully completed a program of study in which the defining characteristic is research. And the Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to graduates who have demonstrated the capacity to conduct research independently by forming a distinct contribution to the knowledge of the subject and to afford evidence of coherence and originality shown either by the discovery of new facts or the exercise of independent critical power. So I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Ufshin Babazadeh for a thesis entitled Nano-Carrier-Mediated Delivery of Small Molecule Activators of Proteasome and Autophagy Enhancers. Dr. Thomas Bowden for a thesis entitled Improving Emergency Care Access to Patients' Past Medical History.
We have the candidates' supervisors on stage.
Dr. Sandrine Kim Kiao Chan Myoy Fat for a thesis entitled The Investigation of Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis Candidate Gene Variants. Dr. Ashfaq Chauhan for a thesis entitled Consumer Engagement for Patient Safety, Strategies for Consumer Engagement for Culturally and Linguistically Diverse Consumers in Cancer Services. Dr. Jie Chern for a thesis entitled Multimodal Management of Participation in Everyday Conversation, a Conversation Analytic Study. Dr. Sarah Sadat Farshidfar for a thesis entitled Biomechanical Analysis of Patient-Specific Knee Pathologies and Treatments, a Musculoskeletal Modelling Investigation. Dr. Hosai Gul for a thesis entitled Innovation Within Complex Systems, Integrating Genomics into Practice Using Implementation Science and Transdisciplinary Co-Production. Dr. Leah Jose for a thesis entitled Deep Learning for Glioma Histopathology Image Classification. Dr. Yulia Harchenko for a thesis entitled Narratives of Language Identity, Development of International English Language Students During Study Abroad. Dr. Stafford Lumsden for a thesis entitled A Multimodal Social Semiotic Approach to the Community of Inquiry Framework, Semiotic Resources, Presences and Professional Development for Online Teacher Education in TESOL. Dr. Robert Newport for a thesis entitled In Search of Relevant Things, a Novel Approach for Image Analysis. Dr. John Park for a thesis entitled Oncogenic Signalling in Uveal Melanoma. Dr. Farhana Parvin for a thesis entitled Biofilms in Healthcare, Difficulty in Removal. Dr. Antoinette Pavitra for a thesis entitled Well Behaved, Exploring Staff Unprofessional Behaviour, Speaking Up and Culture Change Interventions in Healthcare Organisations. Dr. Loretto Rose for a thesis entitled Myopia Progression in Children. Dr. Samran Sharif for a thesis entitled Structural and Functional Correlates of the Visual System as a Marker of Aging and Neurodegenerative Changes in the Brain. Dr. Belinda Jane Sinclair Fenwick for a thesis entitled The Impact of Adverse Events on Older Australians Living in Residential Aged Care, Balancing Safety and Dignity. Dr. Rahat Ulayan Somantur for a thesis entitled Post-Inspiratory Activity, Its Role in Respiratory Sympathetic Coupling and Cardiorespiratory Coordination in Health and Disease. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Human Sciences and Bachelor of Speech and Hearing Sciences. Tiana Jamin. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Speech, Hearing and Language Sciences with the degree of Bachelor of Human Sciences. Leah Jacobson. Vivienne Vin. I present graduates submitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Panta Chaimi. I present graduates submitted to the degree of Bachelor of Clinical Science. Hania Ali. Sadaf Azimi. Rebecca Blackwell Peak. Rebecca has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Madison Bourne. Adrian Kalaja. Shreya Chavan. Amelia Club, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Casey Collins. Talia Easton. Isaac Edmonds. Gabriella Ferrara. Shivanas Gore. Maria George. James Thomas Hanley Suna Hassan. Angus James Hindmarsh Jade Jamison. Kurt Jenner. Michelle Kurana. Ishan Kohli. Cassandra Law. Franch Liang, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Briellen Ludlow. Coffee Maison. Ellis Medina. Shabnam Mohammed Shafiq, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Zach Murray. Mike Nusrabadi. Thabo Nkubi. Hushang Ulumi. Isabella Pekovic. Maida Rana. Davindi Ranatunga. Talira Smith. Rowan Towson. Catherine Singos. Gifty Varghese. Natalia Wang. Joshua Weeks. Elijah Weir. Alexa Woods. Daphne Younger. Kylie Year. Sarah Yeomans. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Linguistics and Language Sciences. Benjamin Fox. Rachel Liu. I present graduates submitted to the degree of Bachelor of Speech and Hearing Sciences. Hara Alomai Ayel. Sorry. Keshika Amatalingam. Kelly Bergman. Hanor Kaur Chugha. Kirsty Chung. Sonali Dulichan. Anita Habibi. Jared Hoey. Diva Joshi. Natalie Hamis. Juri Kim. Sandavi Lam. Eric Lawar. Emma Matheson. Sarah Rezen. Georgia Sofsis. Khan Chung. Muang Ting Wu. Shui Han Yoon. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Linguistics, Alejandro Parada. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Linguistics and TESOL, Marina Foti. Ying Jin. Hida Fatima Kasim. Yanan Wang. Jiabei Zhuo. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Clinical Audiology, Jasmine Hu. Justin Kung. Jessica Leong. Charlotte Lee. Hayley Moller. Ella Pinto. Jamie Rozon. Ju Hee Song. I present graduates submitted to the degree of Master of Conference Interpreting. Jong Ah Kim. Yi Hung Woo. I present graduates submitted to the degree of Master of Public Health. Alina Pauline Cuevus. Maha Eklak. Rabina Mukhtan. Simran Paul. Manju Tripathi. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Speech and Language Pathology, Victoria Lee. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Translation and Interpreting Studies, Danielle Ann Stuss. Minju Kim. Ji Yong Lee. Ha Yong Shin. I present graduates submitted to the degree of Master of Translation and Interpreting Studies, Advanced. Haruka Fujimura. Yu Keong Kim. Xiangqi Liu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Graduate Diploma of Translating and Interpreting. Hair Yong Cha. Bom Kim. Hieri Ko. The Master of Public Health Research is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a program of study in which the defining characteristic is competency in applied public health research. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Public Health Research. Nadine Haramachi for a thesis entitled Promoting Sustainable and Healthy Diets in Young Adults. Gemma Keat for a thesis entitled Mapping the Food Environment and Collecting Student Experiences to Support Food Security and Healthy Eating Among University Students. Mohammed Kazim Malik for a thesis entitled Hepatitis C-related liver fibrosis regression after direct-acting antiviral therapy. For Raya Sakor for a thesis entitled Self-Care Behaviours and Technology Utilised During COVID-19. TJ Anthony Santos for a thesis entitled Assessing the Reactogenicity of Homologous and Heterologous COVID-19 Vaccine Schedules. Saskia van der Kooi for a thesis entitled Notifications Decline in Pertussis, Invasive Pneumococcal Disease and Invasive Meningococcal Disease following COVID-19, the potential impact of non-pharmaceutical interventions in Australian states and territories. Pro-Chancellor, our Master of Research is a 2-year full-time equivalent research training degree consisting of research-based coursework, postgraduate research training and a major research project. Graduates have focused on a specific research topic to produce a thesis of up to 20,000 words in preparation to a doctoral degree. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research. Tarzin Abdullah for a thesis entitled Observe Overall Cleanliness and Sound Mannerisms at All Times, Regulating Australian Muslims in Mosques and Islamic Prayer Spaces. Giselle Bentley for a thesis entitled Comparison of Active Stand and Head-Up Tilt Table Testing for the Diagnosis of Orthostatic Intolerance Syndromes. Jessie Brown for a thesis entitled Mechanisms Regulating Immune Checkpoint Inhibitor PDL2 Expression in Melanoma. Madison Brown for a thesis entitled The Role of Attention and Memory in Understanding Conversation in Noise in Adults. Annalise Amael for a thesis entitled Population Activity of the Superior Colliculus and Associated Cardiovascular Outputs. Fabia Fazana for a thesis entitled Protein disulfide isomerase is protective against DNA damage in amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Ashley Hicks for a thesis entitled Investigating RUNX2, BMP2 and clotho expression in two hypertensive models of chronic kidney disease as drivers of vascular calcification. Stephanie Kennett for a thesis entitled Inhibitory Control of Motor and Respiratory Components of Orienting Responses by the Substantia nigra pars reticulata. Naima Mumtaz for a thesis entitled Examining the Role of Nucleoredoxin, NRX, in amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Jack Simpson for a thesis entitled Modelling Major Histocompatibility Class 1 Deficiency and Immunotherapy Response in a Mouse Model of Myeloma. Pro-Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Medicine, Health and Human Sciences.
Pro-Chancellor, I call on Gabriela Ferreira, who graduated with a Bachelor of Clinical Science, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Gabriela Ferreira.
Good afternoon, Pro-Chancellor, members of the University, fellow graduates and guests. It is an absolute pleasure to stand here on this special day. Although completing this degree has been an immense achievement, I'll be honest in saying that I've been dreaming of reaching this day since my very first Anatomy 1001 tutorial. Sitting amongst us today are graduates of various degrees within the Faculty of Medicine, Health and Human Sciences. While we have all experienced differing journeys and conquered various obstacles to reach this point, we all share one commonality: the desire to make a difference in the health world and to provide aid and help to others, each in our own way. Given our hard work and the support provided here to us at Macquarie, I have no doubt that this will be achieved. Completing this degree has equipped me, and I'm sure you all, with endless skills. To name a few, we have lived through COVID-19 and the dystopia that was online university. I learnt more anatomy than my brain can hold. And most importantly, I finally understood the concept of glycolysis. In saying this, the skills we have learnt during this university experience have far surpassed the intellectual level. We have learnt how to make friends again. We have learnt to challenge ourselves, how to ask for help, and we have learnt how to juggle priorities. Considering all of that, it may seem like the hard part is over, but the real challenge begins tomorrow. What to do next? For some of us, it is striving to get into medical school and conquering the almighty GAMSAT. For others, it is entering the workforce, and for a few, it may still be unknown. Whatever it may be, I would like to offer a very cheesy piece of advice from the obvious many years of experience that I have at such a young age. Let the world of health be your oyster. That is the beauty of this field and one of the many reasons why I chose to be a part of it. There are still endless amounts of research to be done and discoveries to be made. There is still room for improvement, there are always ways for you to grow and learn, and there are still changes to be made. This is a challenging field and a competitive one at that, but do not doubt your place in it because it needs you. Whether it be in a lab, developing the newest gene therapy, in a hospital, pioneering people-centered care, or changing policy to give voice to those in health who are unheard. Make your mark, change the status quo. Bask in the glory of health and its endless opportunities. Use your young eyes and your unique aspects to make the difference in health that you wish to see. It could certainly do with a touch of each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabriella. I'm sure your words resonate a lot with your fellow graduates, and congratulations again.
Omnia
That was Angela Brewer. Angela is also the founder and artistic director of Coast Opera Australia. Could you please join me again in thanking her for that superb performance? Please also join me in thanking our musicians. On the organ, Heather Mowen-Boyd. And on the trumpet, Miss Melanie McLaughlin. I'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank representatives from our alumni community who've come today to help celebrate the occasion. And finally, please also join me in thanking our technical staff who ensure that the proceedings can be seen and heard, not just for all of us here today, but for those watching the event on live stream. Graduates, the ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it certainly does not represent the end of your association with us. From today onwards, you're now part of the bigger Macquarie family. Our alumni network, which has over 225,000 members living in over 140 countries around the globe, now welcomes you to its fold. We'll look forward to seeing you back on campus to attend alumni events, to undertake further study, or simply to visit our beautiful surrounds and reminisce about the good times you spent here as a Macquarie University student. Graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. We urge you to commit to lifelong learning and inquiry. We urge you to set ambitious goals for yourselves. We urge you to continue the hard work that has already brought you this far. And remember, the world isn't only changed by the great leaps forward of an Albert Einstein or a Marie Curie, but by the many contributions, small and large, of people just like you. At Macquarie, we pride ourselves on developing each and every one of our students into engaged community citizens and leaders. So we urge you to always give thought to what you can do for others along the way. You don't have to do much sometimes to make a real difference to someone's life. Sometimes a kind gesture or a small word can mean an enormous amount. We challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet on life's journey. Our hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you'll use what you have learnt here not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of our community. And in all you do, we charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. It's also our hope that you always remember the people who've helped you along the way, many of whom are here with us this afternoon. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. First, I'd like all our new graduates to please stand. Now, I want you to place your testamers on your seats behind you and turn around to face your families and friends. And now it's time to give them a mighty round of applause. Turn around, but don't sit down, don't sit down. Here on the dais with me are representatives of our academic staff who've supported and led you throughout your journey. So please join me in also thanking them. Graduates, please remain standing, but do pick up your testamers. We don't want you to leave them behind you. The official party will soon leave the graduation hall, followed by the graduates. As we do, our organist will play the traditional recessional music of graduation, which has been played at ceremonies like this over the centuries. There's an age-old set of Latin lyrics to this music which begins Gaudeamus igitur, dum sumus juvenes. Translation, this graduation exit song starts, therefore let us rejoice, for we will always be young. The song speaks in a whimsical way of youth and old age at the same time, of the brevity of life and the inevitability of death, of state and city and of happiness. Again, to our newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and every best wish for futures filled with success, satisfaction, and most importantly, with happiness. Now might I ask everyone to please stand. Shortly, I'll lead the official party out, followed by the graduates in procession. I then invite you all to follow the graduates out of the hall to enjoy some light refreshments on the dais behind. In closing today's wonderful celebration of your achievements, I say again, Gaudeamus igitur, therefore let us rejoice.